This is your weekly celestial forecast for the week beginning November 6th, 2023. So on Monday, we have the moon in very spontaneous, a little bit showy, definitely that of creativity, sign of Leo. But it is void. So on Monday, this is not a good time to begin or end up any potential serious projects. So keep that in mind. And then we've got Venus also in Virgo at 28 degrees and making a beautiful exact trine to powerhouse Pluto. And Pluto is how we express our power. And in this case, with the connection with the trine with Venus, and Venus is about beauty and harmony. However, in Virgo, it's kind of a chilly placement, not very um, really out there with our love and affection. It's more reserved. However, with the connection with Pluto, we have a sense of self-confidence. We just want to kind of go with the flow on Monday. It's not a time when we are disagreeing or opposing those within authority. It's really a good time to just, go with the flow and express your authority or connect with those in authority and your personal power in a very easygoing kind of style. Really kind of gives us this sense of ease and self-confidence about who we are. And we still have the Sun and Mars and Mercury in the sign of Scorpio, with Sun and Mars, the planet of action, in conjunction. So this week we are feeling rather energetic. Mars is very driven, especially because Mars is in its own sign of Scorpio. And with the Sun, which is connected with our self-confidence this week, and on Monday, we are driven to succeed. But we also have an applying opposition with Uranus on Monday as well. So we can't ignore the fact that this is a little bit of a difficult placement because Uranus and Taurus and the Scorpio Mars are both fixed signs. So we are driven, which is great, but we are also a little bit stubborn, maybe over the top. So with the fixed sign emphasis to really get our way. However, with the opposition, this is great because it can help us to aid with giving advice to others or helping others or gaining in advice within this opposition. But nonetheless, it is also a very competitive aspect, and especially since we've got Uranus, the planet of the unexpected, retrograde. And retrograde planets aren't always at their best. So you don't want to get carried away with over the top competition because that could really kind of seep into ineffective communications with others. And we've got Jupiter, the planet of luck and generosity, also retrograde, still in the sign of Taurus, and that opposes the Sun. So again, here too, it's great for gaining assistance. It's also good for helping others. That's wonderful. But Jupiter, well, likes to make a big deal out of everything. And so small, minute conflicts, petty conflicts could get carried away if you're not cautious. So do be cautious of any disputes and really kind of becoming a little bit over the top stubborn in your outlooks and your beliefs, especially the belief system and also what you say, because we're talking about second house and Jupiter retrograde in Taurus. So there could be some differences of viewpoints about beliefs and what you say. You're going to have to be careful because Taurus Taurus is connected with speech. Yes, Saturn now is direct in the sign of Pisces, which is really great, but at 0 degrees of Pisces. And this is making an out of sign opposition with the moon in late Leo and then later on in the day into early Virgo. So it's good to be very cautious and very strict, Saturn, about diet, exercise, anything to do with medicine, medical, and so on. However, Saturn can be a bit blocked here with this opposition with the moon in late Leo going into Virgo later in the day, and rather critical. So we don't want to be overcritical of ourselves. We don't want to get too easily frustrated. We may be apt on Monday because of such frustrations and criticisms. We may be apt to want to give up because this is a bit of a frustrating aspect. But remember, Saturn is the planet of karma. So even if we're frustrated with details on Monday, just keep the faith, and Saturn will reward your hard work and your efforts in the long run. Just don't be too stressed out, too worried, and too picky on Monday. No, sir. And then we've got the moon making a square to Mercury, and Mercury's the communicator. And keep in mind now, Mercury is still in the sign of Scorpio. So Mercury in Scorpio is great for detective work and really getting to the bottom of things. But when you have the square to the moon early Monday, well, we could get in the battle of wits with each other. And with Scorpio, there is no holds barred. So we're going to have to be careful. And there is a T square in the fixed signs with Uranus, Moon, and Mercury early on Monday. We'll have to be careful, emphasizing that attribute here with Jupiter in Taurus and with the Sun in Scorpio of really getting too carried away with petty conflicts, or we have to watch our words because with Scorpio Mercury, words could really sting and that could have long-term effects. Yes, indeed. And we have Mercury in Scorpio in the water sign with the beautiful planet of Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So although we are a little sarcastic or edgy in our speech on Monday, well, with Neptune, this helps to soften the blow a little bit because Neptune is that of our sensitivity and our compassion. So take a hint from the Pisces, Neptune, and Scorpio trine here is really apply a light touch to all communications and really think before you talk and apply compassion. That is what is important for the week and especially on Monday. And we're going to go forward a day here until Tuesday, and that's now November 7th. And still, we've got the Scorpio stellium, and the Mercury planet is inching ever so closer to Sagittarius. But there is a trine for the next couple days, well, the next pretty much several days or the week, uh, uh, this week with Mercury in Scorpio and Pluto in Capricorn. And this is really important because the depositor of Scorpio is both Mars and Pluto. So we're not going to hold back this week about our authority and really speaking our mind, and people will really want to sit up and listen to us this week. So it's kind of a double-edged sword with the sextile with Mercury and Pluto, because Pluto is very powerful in its presence, the speech, the actions. And with this sextile here and depositor of Mercury in Scorpio, well, what we have to say this week and our authority, or what authorities have to say this week, will be spoken with much conviction. So if you want to get your point across this week, well, this is the week with Mercury, the communicator, with Pluto in Capricorn. Very good for business because both Scorpio and Pluto in Capricorn are all about business, about power. But in this case, it will be expressed rather well. But with the connection with Scorpio, we don't want to get carried away since we may gain others' attention in really feeling our sense of our words and how they have an effect on other people, which will be very true this week. And now the moon is in picky, particular Virgo. So on Tuesday, it's all about our work and if it is up to snuff just right, because Virgo is very particular about the details. They are a hard worker, and it's all about kind of that theme. As I was saying on Monday, it's about health, wellness, diet, exercise, all sixth house connections, and hard work and service, because that's what Virgo is about. It's service to others. And the information regarding healthcare, hospitals, and the like will also capture our attention somehow on Tuesday and going into Wednesday. And there is a beautiful sextile between the moon in Virgo and the sun, almost at about 15 degrees of Scorpio. So it's a bit of a wide sextile on Tuesday. So this is very productive. It's the connection with the masculine energies, the feminine energies. So we are really expressing our emotions with our sense of self-confidence, our sense of style and who we are very well, very well. And as I mentioned, it's a very good time for our productivity on Tuesday. We will see results because both Scorpio and Virgo are hard workers, and they're natural investigators, and they are natural researchers. So there's going to be some information Tuesday, possibly on Wednesday, regarding that which deals with research, investigations, and so on. But this is the day, Tuesday, and even Wednesday, but with the sextile on Tuesday, all about the details. And there is a real sweet trine also between Jupiter, generous Jupiter retrograde, and the moon in Virgo. So this is very intelligent. Virgo really is rather frugal with regards to, well, pretty much everything, but especially with spending. And with the trine to Jupiter, this is really good. This is the day on Tuesday. We may want to take advantage of those store bargains, or we are acting rather efficiently and orderly on Tuesday with just about everything. But the really good thing about this on Tuesday with Jupiter, because it is all about good fortune and generosity, is going to be that we may find that particular bargain or bargains on Tuesday that we just can't refuse. And Jupiter is acting generosely, I guess you could say, with that connection with the moon in Virgo. So it's a good day. Maybe if you have a minute to do a little bit of shopping, Tuesday is your day for the bargain. Yes, and keeping everything in line as well. So let's look ahead to the next day, which is the middle of the week, and it is November the 8th. And the moon is further along in the sign of Virgo now and applying the opposition with Neptune. Neptune is about water, the overabundance or the under abundance of water or moisture. And with this opposition here on Wednesday, there could be certain concern with regards to storms, moisture, water, oil, this type thing. And also, there's going to be possible information out now regarding there's that theme again about healthcare, wellness, and so on. And because there's an opposition between the moon in Virgo and Neptune, there could also be information that either is revealed now regarding healthcare, wellness, so on, maybe even that deals with animals, our animal friends, what have you, sixth house by the eighth house, or information that we feel that may be a little hidden from us, also regarding healthcare, wellness, and so on. And now we've got the moon in Virgo, and this is applying a wide, rather somewhat of a wide sextile to Mercury at 27 degrees of Scorpio. So again, this is this Virgo connection with the Scorpio connection. We're speaking rather intelligently, kind of thinking before we talk, which is really good. But Virgo, somewhat like Scorpio, can have a little bit of an edge because guess what? The depositor, because the ruler of Virgo is in fact Mercury. So although this is really good, kind of like with the connection with Pluto for really speaking our mind and really getting our words out there effectively, it can also be one where we are a little bit jaded and maybe a little bit too critical, even though this is a water and earth sextile connection. So this week, it seems the first couple days, first few days, tone down on your speech. Good to get your words across effectively, yes. Really say what you think and feel and all that, but you don't want to go overboard with Mercury and the moon in Virgo. But as again, it is a good time for research, investigations, and with Mercury and Scorpio and Virgo, this is the time that we are very detailed oriented, service oriented, very organized, and we are really doing a lot of behind the scenes research. And we've got a trine here also between Uranus and Taurus and the moon in Virgo. So that's really superb as well. In fact, this falls into the Earth grand trine on Wednesday. So, we're just going to kind of go with the flow on Wednesday. Good for speaking and communications of all kinds. And that's not just the spoken word. This is a good time because we've got this connection with Virgo, with the moon in Virgo. This is a good time for all forms of communication. It's a good time if you're wanting to wheel and deal regarding sales and negotiations. It's a good time to, as mentioned, get your thoughts across, but it's also a good time for communicating your effectiveness over the internet, over the web. But remember, Earth is also connecting with producing money. So there could be good job or money news on Wednesday, as well as money or opportunities on Wednesday just come in, and we're just going with the flow with this beautiful Earth grand trine. And with Uranus, we are rather creative and original as well. So now let's look ahead to the next day, which is now on Thursday, the 9th of November, and we've got the moon in peace loving Libra with Venus in its own in Libra. Oh, that's very cooperative. So with the moon there, we're feeling really social on Monday. It's all about relationships and the ups and downs, the good and the bad of the relationships, really wanting with this connection with Venus. It's really wanting to cooperate with each other, negotiate on Thursday. So if you got any kind of business negotiations, Thursday's your day because you've got Venus with the moon. Oh, how pleasant is that? We will have a heightened sense of beauty. Maybe we want to kind of organize our space a little bit. Maybe we want to present ourselves as more attractive somehow. All connections with beauty and to some degree glamour and cooperation, partnerships, all of that are going to come under the spotlight on Thursday, and this is extremely positive. And now, with powerhouse Pluto at 28 degrees of Capricorn, this is making a bit of a out of sign trine to both the moon and Venus. So that's also very good. Kind of like this is a good time if you're looking to ask for that raise, because with this out of sign trine with Pluto, remember that's all about power, positions of power, dealing with power. And so this is a time if you want a promotion, if you want to deal with authorities, this is the time you want to keep the peace. And yet with this out of sign connection with Pluto at 28 degrees of Capricorn, you really want to express your unique talents and abilities, and in such a sweet, pleasant, peacemaking type style with this moon conjunct Venus in Libra. So let's look ahead to the next day, which is, yes, it is Friday, and Friday is November 10th. Now the moon is further along in the sign of Libra, and applying a conjunction to the south node. So this is still rather cooperative on Friday. However, now we've got an applying opposition to the north node in Aries, and the south node will conjunct the moon in Libra. So on one hand, this is really good for really feeling very sensitive to others' needs with this connection with the south node, because the south node, a little bit more than the north node, is a bit more sensitive, can be a little bit more touchy. So starting on Friday, especially midday, late in the day, we may feel a little touchy. We have this desire to really get along with each other with this Libra accent here, and we want to keep the peace. We really have this appreciation for the social graces. It may be a busy time for us on Friday at the start of the weekend, but we don't want to feel like we're excluded from others or somehow we're feeling insecure about our social graces or our desire to really fit in and cooperate. Nonetheless, this is still rather positive, and we can't omit, though, we also have this applying opposition with the north node. So the north node is in Aries, so Aries is about me first, and so that's where we kind of have to balance out these nodes. It's about really on Friday wanting to put your best foot forward and kind of express your own personal style and leadership. Really take the initiative, but we also don't want to step on other people's toes, and that's where the balance is between these nodes, the north and the south node. It's expressing our own personal style and leadership, who we are, while also taking in consideration a particular group or the particular social graces and politeness and manners and so on and so forth. And now Mercury is now officially in the sign of gregarious Sagittarius at 0 degrees, however, squaring off Saturn in Pisces. So although it is a very Very social time on Friday. Uh, that about partnerships with the square with Mercury, the communicator, and Saturn. It's back to a little bit of this frustrations within our communications with each other, and because the depositor of Saturn is Neptune retrograde in Pisces on Friday. It's making a square to the communicator Mercury, so we may get mixed up in our communications, or there could be issues regarding travel. So make sure, if you can, to show up on time, that there's no snafus within travel or travel arrangements on Friday. And be very clear in the written word and the spoken word. And it's just these type of things which regard communications on Friday as a little bit frustrating, and regarding frustrations on Friday. So just be a little bit leery of that Friday indeed. And then we also have Mercury making the square, making a beautiful sextile, air and fire to Venus. So at least at the end of the day, even though there may be some mix-ups with communications with regards to love and affection, this is a very sweet placement between Venus and Libra in its own, and Mercury, the communicator, in Sagittarius. This is the time you really want to communicate your feelings of harmony, peace, love, and so on Friday. And now we're going to move ahead to the next day, which is now Saturday, and it is November 11th. And we have the moon in late Libra void and just past the south node. So the information about the day before, feeling a little touchy, yet wanting to fit in, yet wanting to socialize, and keep the harmony, keep the balance between the me first and the group first, or the harmony first, is going to apply even on Saturday. But we have a square between Pluto, that good old power authority planet, on Saturday now in the moon. So we're kind of feeling a little bit uneasy regarding our own power on Saturday. And this can be reactive within our relationships with each other. It's the cross between wanting to harmonize the Libra moon and really take charge with business, and not going over the top with our authority with Capricorn. So this could right here create the difficult or disharmony in that case. And with the south node right behind the moon in Libra, well, just be careful on Saturday you don't overstep your authority, or getting in petty conflicts with power and tit for tat and that kind of thing. Take the hint from the Libra moon and south node. It's all about what? Partnerships and cooperation. Also, there could be issues regarding legalities, the courts, and so on, because that is what Libra is connected with, and of course Pluto in the is the power. So a little bit of some shakiness or uncertainty, as mentioned, with court legalities, contracts, and so on Saturday. Although days before, when the moon first goes into Libra with the out of sign trine, just 2 days earlier on Thursday, that could be the good day for legalities. Okay, so we still have a little bit of this Libra emphasis with Venus in Libra. So we're still wanting to really just get along to get along. And it doesn't hurt that we want to express our creativity during this time of Venus in Libra. It's really at its best as far as relationships are concerned. We just want to please and please no matter what. And yet there is still a bit of a wide out of sign trine with Pluto. So that kind of ends the end of the week on a good note here. Yes. And let's look ahead to indeed the last day of the week, which is, yes, it is on Sunday. And now the moon is an intense Scorpio. So we still have Libra South Node, and we've got Venus, the love planet, in Libra. So peace is still in the background, but now with the moon in Scorpio and applying a conjunction with the sun and then Mars early next week, well, we're feeling awfully intense on Sunday. Yes, so we have to keep in mind both Mars and Pluto are the depositor of the moon in Scorpio. So there's that word again, power to a limit on Sunday, because remember, Scorpio really tells it like it is. And now you've got this opposition with Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter and Taurus, well, just Jupiter in general likes to make a big deal, but when it's opposed by the moon, an intense, passionate Scorpio on Sunday, well, we really don't want to hold back, because Taurus rules speech, the second house, and you've got this connection somewhat with Libra and this appreciation of beauty and the finer things of life, and this real need to be easygoing and at ease with others. But then you add Scorpio moon there in opposition with Jupiter. Well, this takes a little bit of the ease out of the picture on Sunday. And kind of like early in the week, we have to be cautious of what we say, because we could get into some skirmishes if we are not cautious because of our words. We're not really wanting to be more passive. We want to feel like we're really taking charge of the conversations with the spoken word, with the written word on Sunday, you name it. And because we've got an applying within a day conjunction with the moon and Mars and the sun and Pluto as its depositor. So on Sunday, there's going to be some important information regarding leaderships, because we're upping the passion and intensity with Scorpio and Mars and Pluto. So there could be information in the news about others that are in position of authorities overstepping their bounds, or a lot of intensity going around on Sunday. Yes, indeed. And also because of the opposition with Jupiter, the big deal planet, and Uranus applying that opposition within a day, well, late Sunday, likely Monday, there could be some sizable earth changes, earthquakes, and the like as well. Just don't get too carried away with wanting to take charge and be number one on Sunday. It's about really taking the passion and channeling this and taking a hint from Venus in Libra and really expressing your intensity and your passion creatively, and there you will get positive results. So until the next weekly celestial forecast, many blessings. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my contact information is down below. I give one-on-one readings and written reports. Please subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification. Until next time, many, many blessings.